took me a long while to get this third part out, but we're here now, so let's continue where we left off. So our main characters make their way around Raccoon City while continuing their discussion from the graveyard scene. It's like they're trying to figure out who's the main protagonist of the film.
I'm good, but I'm not that good.
Whoa, that's all she needed to hear to confirm it. Alice is like, that's right, I'm better.
They did something to me. I barely feel human anymore.
Yeah, but you also look like you're enjoying everything about your superhuman abilities, so don't act like your story's a bit tragic here. I might be wrong about her enjoying it, as she doesn't really have any emotions. She's more like a robot. Robot! So they get a call from Dr. Ashford, who tells them that he can get them all out of there, but they have to find his daughter, who's hiding at the school. They're also told that Raccoon City will be nuked, but Duke doesn't want to go through with it. Even though a moment ago he took a bite to the leg and said, "These are our people, Jill." You know, the little girl must be innocent. Why not try and save her? She's one of the people you set out to save, right? Poor Duke. The T-virus must be going through his head by now. So they all agree and make their way to Angela's school. But suddenly, Alice's Mary Sue senses start tingling, and she tells them all that something is nearby. But Duke gets angry because he doesn't see anything and steps forward, which results in getting shot multiple times by the Nemesis. So much for getting bit, right, Duke? Alice tells the rest of them to run away while she deals with the Nemesis. She steps down and faces off in a spectacular death match. Yeah, right, she runs away. Alice goes down a garbage disposal and breaks a finger going down. Nemesis decides to fire a rocket at her direction, but she takes cover with a plastic bin. I thought it was metal, but it's noticeably flimsy, so I guess if the Nemesis is ever about to fire a rocket at you, just take cover behind some plastic bins. Apparently it's like adamantium to rockets. She then quickly puts her finger back in place. Pay close attention to Mila's incredible acting performance as she puts her finger back in place. Acting. Her motivation? It was about squeezing out a silent fart. After running away from the location where Nemesis shot Duke, Jill tries to start up the nearest vehicle, but suddenly, a zombified Duke approaches Jill and tries biting her, and she easily kills him. So much for turning into a zombie, right, Duke? But wait a minute. How the hell did Duke instantly turn into a zombie and instantly track down Jill even after she ran as far as she could from that exact destination? You want to explain this, Paul? Nothing came out of this. You didn't really give this character much to make any of us care about him, and if you wanted to include him as a zombie, you could have just made him appear at the very end as one of the zombies that takes down Major Kane. I mean, after all, the only scene where Duke gets a bit of dialogue is when he's pissed off at Umbrella for what they've done. At least this way, he wouldn't have been a wasted character. So we then go back to Carlos and Nikolai, and Carlos explains to him that they're expendables, and if they make it alive through this shitty movie franchise, they'll get to be in the shitty Expendables movie franchise. Then they get a phone call from Dr. Ashford, who offers them the same deal. Going back to Jill and the reporter, they run into Day Day and they let him in.
We're gonna have to split up to search this place.
Forget it. Forget it. I'm not going out there by myself.
Split up? You sure that's something Jill Valentine would say?
I've never shot a gun before.
There's nothing to it. Try to hit him in the head.
I'm starting to understand why she lost her partner. And by the way, after analyzing who her partner was, it turns out that the newspaper article reveals that it was in fact Leon S. Kennedy himself. I wonder how it happened. Maybe Leon was like, "Jill, we need to stick together. I'm a rookie cop, remember? I don't think I should realistically survive a zombie outbreak if we split up." And she was like, "There's nothing to it. Just aim at the head and shoot."
You can't help her. Not now.
Wait a minute. That little prick was in the room the entire time? Why didn't you speak up when the reporter was in that room with you? You could have said, "Hey, that's not me, it's a zombie, let's go!" That was too hard? And how the hell was she hiding there the entire time? What's stopping her from getting dogpiled? I was expecting her to be hiding inside a locker or an air vent, something that would clearly keep her from harm's way. But she was just sitting there, waiting for an adult to get stealth killed by a bunch of kids, and then warn the next adult that walks by. Talk about some heavy-duty plot armor. A car accident didn't even leave a scratch on her, so of course she doesn't even need to hide, right? Heck, I'm pretty sure she doesn't even need to be rescued. She'll probably just survive that explosion and they could just circle around with a chopper and find the only human being capable of surviving anything, just like Alice, who carries that extra thick plot armor.
Sergeant Nikolai Junafev, at your service.
Mom! Wait! Angie!
Save the girl!
You little... That girl is getting everyone killed! Jill was about to help Nikolai from getting eaten alive by this Cerberus, but Angie is like, there's no time to help that man, let's go! We need to keep the story moving. They're gonna need to tranquilize that kid before she gets someone else killed. So Nikolai gets killed by zombie dogs. Too bad Paul didn't do his homework to realize that Nikolai can easily deal with a Cerberus without flinching. But moving on, Day-Day finds Carlos, they stick together, and Jill continues to protect Angie, who's gotten 2 of her rescuers killed already. Good job. Angie! A little warning next time!
I feel like I'm working in my own casket.
So after Jill tries to make a dramatic exit, Alice jumps in like big sister, and her presence alone must have been what prevented Jill's match from igniting the gas. Because if anyone is making a dramatic exit, it's gotta be Paul's waifu. Paul, you already gave Mila Jovovich a dramatic entrance at the church. She does not deserve this. Does she desperately need a dramatic exit even though we haven't seen her at the school the entire time? We get it, dude. She's so cool, right? But don't worry, Jill. I got you covered. With a little editing trick here and there. And there you go. I gotta get back to reality. So, they all get together, exit the school, and make their way towards the building with Daddy Ashford, where his boss is clearly knowing exactly what's going on here. I mean, he did tell Dr. Ashford that, yeah, it's fine, you know, he could stay there, try and locate his daughter. But, how else did the Umbrella agent, Mr. Kane over here, expect a man on a wheelchair to find his daughter? Telepathically? So, Angie happens to be carrying the antivirus, so they use it on Carlos and reach the rooftops. They do a little karate, and like you'd expect, they get caught. But here's where we need to crank that intelligence bar at its lowest. I mean, that's the only way we can enjoy this scene for what it is. They force the Nemesis to fight against... Alice. Boo! Boo!
It's Mila Jovovich's movie. She's driving the narrative.
Yeah, this is Mila's movie. Sorry, Jill. We were all hoping to see you go up against the Nemesis and willing to sit through this pile of shit just to see that happen. But Paul desperately wanted to see his waifu steal the spotlight again and give the audience what no one was asking for. Oh boy, I wonder who's going to win this fight. The monster who's barely gotten any screen time, or the girl who can kill over 10 dogs in a crowded room without getting touched? This should be amazing. So, Alice and Nemi settled things with bare-knuckle boxing. She wins, of course. I mean, if they tossed a helicopter at her, she would probably just dodge the blades by jumping through it. Even Chuck Norris would say, damn, this bitch don't make any sense. But Nemi? Nope. He gets taken down by a chopper. He's wasted potential here. It's a shame Paul never bothered to study these characters before making a movie revolving around them. If he did his homework, he would have killed off Alice at the very beginning and said, screw that, my waifu fantasies can wait, this story is a goddamn goldmine. But anyways, she easily defeats Nemi and uses the power of love to convince Nemi to fight by her side and take down Umbrella. Bullets couldn't kill him, but a chopper crashing on him is all it takes. Well, that answers 2 dream matches. RoboCop 2's Kane versus Paul Wes Anderson's RE Nemesis. Kane wins. All thanks to Lewis. And the second who would win match, the Super Shredder from the Secret of the Ooze film versus Paul Wes Anderson's RE Nemesis. It's a draw. They would get themselves killed. So, the good guys manage to exit the building after taking down all the Umbrella goons. Angie's dad gets shot and he turns into a zombie. Why? I don't know. He wasn't infected. This really should have just been Zombie Duke's chance to get the Umbrella agent, but let's not try and get creative with this movie. Once they exit Raccoon City, the nuke goes off and the explosion causes the chopper to crash. Alice wakes up in a test tube being analyzed by Umbrella employees. So this movie ends the same way the previous one ended? Actually, it gets worse. They add a little extra to shock the viewers by giving Alice superpowers. Move over, Neo. It's whamming time. Actually, what happens next is that she walks out the building naked again, only this time she is greeted by Carlos, Jill, and Angie who are posing as Umbrella agents. What? Are you shitting me? They drive away and that's it. Movie's over. Thank God. So, where to start? The one thing I hated the most in this film was seeing that they force Alice to fight against the Nemesis in a bare-knuckle fight. This is the scene that basically made most Resident Evil fans walk out the theater. I was too curious to leave the theater at this point. I was extremely disappointed with what I was seeing, of course, laughing maniacally as this was the moment when I knew that they messed up big time. The waiting for this film just to completely obliterate the Resident Evil 3 storyline. That just killed the dream of seeing a live-action RE3 film. By the way, the editing in this movie's action scenes, it's some of the worst editing I've ever seen. Picture trying to watch a program on TV while someone's rapidly changing through channels. Every single action scene is littered with millisecond jump cuts. Can you tell what the hell is going on? Who's winning? Who's losing? Can you watch this without looking away or having a seizure? I mean, was the action so bad that they had to make the editing super fast-paced with about 7 to 11 jump cuts within a second? This is horrible! Here, let me help you.
I'm good. But I'm not that good. You should be thankful for that. What do you mean?
They did something to me.
Seriously, never edit a fight scene like this. If the fight scenes are gonna be this bad, then might as well make the entire movie like this. Maybe next time they don't let their editor take speed drugs before getting the job done. I'm guessing that's what happened. The editor, Eddie Hamilton, doesn't exactly have a bad record for like fight scenes or so, like with Kick-Ass 1 and 2. So it must have been the footage he was working with. And the drugs. I can't believe there are more sequels ahead of this turd. Like most fans, I tried giving him a chance, but they all start off right away letting you know that this ain't the video game story you wanted. I know the director wasn't Paul with these sequels, like with the first film, but he still wrote the storylines. All he had to do was sit down and play the damn games. Even if it's just one, play at least one of them, Paul. Even if it's the very, very first original version. Just so you get the point of the game and why it succeeded even with those terrible graphics, gameplay mechanics, and the voice actors. Anyways, I'm done talking about Resident Evil Pack-A-Lies. It sucked. You'll probably like it if you've never played the games or seen a movie. But even though it has some similarities with the third game, I don't recommend it. Now, seeing as it took me forever to finish a movie review like this one, I'm going to try and summarize everything else into one video instead of 3 parts like I did with the previous 2 Resident Evil movie reviews. So I'll be doing one video review for each of the sequels from now on. And it shouldn't be a problem either, seeing as it's just the first 2 films that have similarities with the games. The rest are basically Milla movies. They just take the brand name to clickbait fans of the game franchise into watching these bland movies with Flatty Magoo over here. So with that said, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. If this video gets 10,000 likes, I'll make sure to get the next movie review out sooner than ever. But most importantly, be sure to turn on notifications because YouTube won't bother to do its job even if you're subscribed. I'm finally starting to sell my merch, so be sure to get yourself a mug to go with that twisted grin, or a t-shirt. There's more new merch on the way, but also I'd like to give a big thanks to all my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see your name on every outro of every new video, as well as receive an exclusive video every month, then show your support by donating a single $1. That's all it takes to receive many perks, such as getting a look at the exclusive content. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.